From KSMQ Television in Austin, this is On Cue, connecting interesting issues and interesting people. On Cue.
From a field of more than 50 nominees, Todd Lange emerged as the 2015 Teacher of the Year for Albert Lea area schools. He's joined us here today. Welcome, Todd, and congratulations.
Well, thank you.
18 years in the Albert Lea district.
Correct.
A little over 20 as a teacher. Has it always been in English at the high school level?
No, I've usually been at the high school level. I spent a couple of years at the junior high in Albert Lea, working with 7th and 8th graders. And I've always taught English. I have, in the last 10 years or so, gotten to teach the humanities class at the Albert Lea High School too, which is a lot of fun.
And your reaction to receiving this honor?
I was surprised, first of all. There were 5 of us, and the other 4 nominees I thought were all shoo-ins, so I was definitely surprised and certainly humbled by the honor.
Mm-hmm. It's numerous. It's students, it's faculty, that decision-making process?
Yes, that's right. Anyone in the district can nominate people, nominate teachers. So parents, students, faculty members can nominate, and they write a letter or a note and explain why they're nominating someone. And then when the nominees are revealed, then from there there's a committee that narrows it down to the 5 finalists, and then the committee chooses the one. So.
My goodness. Well, that's just wonderful. And just to give an idea of an average school day for you, how many students, how many different classes would you have with how many different students in a given day? Is there any way to quantify that?
There is, yeah. I teach 5 sections out of a 7-period day, and then most teachers have a supervision duty or some extra duty. My extra duty is as department head, so I'm in charge of helping other department members order supplies, organize and plan for the future, things like that. So during my day, during my 5 periods, I see about 165 kids in those 5 periods.
My goodness, that's a lot to keep track of.
It is, yeah, it is.
How do you do that? I mean, after all these years, I mean, when I go in, maybe you have to get in shape mentally. When I visit schools like my own children's school, I can get exhausted in just a matter of minutes from the stuff going on in the hall and whatever, cacophony and all the kids, just all that life in one building.
There's a lot of energy in the day, definitely, and a lot of questions, a lot of decisions to make, but it's fun. It's enjoyable every day.
Does the English, so many subjects, there's new things or things change. Mm-hmm. I would think, well, English pretty much stays the same. But is that true? Does teaching of English evolve and advance like the sciences when they learn new things in science?
Sure.
And things?
I don't think in the same way or at the same pace as, say, science or history, where you're picking up new material. We don't necessarily have a lot of new material, but maybe different approaches or different ideas to do things.
And I suppose they're still goal-oriented. Are you doing writing? Is writing part of the classes, all of your classes, like essays, that kind of thing?
Absolutely, yep. Every class, every grade level in English at Albert Lea High School does writing as part of their curriculum. And so, yeah, the students are writing essays or writing answers on tests, things like that, having to process ideas through writing, yeah.
Do you accept you are as your? The larger question, folks, is, a lot of abbreviations and slangs used in text messaging and emails today.
IDK, Eric, IDK.
You don't know?
Right. No, generally no. We ask students, at least in more formalized settings, to write in complete sentences. That's part of the material that we're working on.
Do you see that those kinds of
absolutely.
things in
We see
papers
that,
and things?
and some of the writing that we do is more informal, where students are processing ideas and maybe working in a group and writing a group response, and those are very much on the fly, and you'll see more of that informal stuff. But students understand that there are different places for different kinds of communication, so they know that texting with their friends is one kind of communication, but writing formally for a teacher in school is different, and they get that. That's not
So
a problem.
do you think, as an English professional, do you see that technology impacting the language long term? I mean, that we might see changes?
I wouldn't be surprised if we do, although I don't know that that would be a problem or be catastrophic. Our language has always changed. We don't speak the same language as Shakespeare or Chaucer, and while we still study them, we understand that our language has changed and is going to continue to change. So,
What about the influx of folks from around the world, different people in our region from Sudan coming where
Sure.
English might not be the first language, Asia? Does that change your world, how you look at teaching some of these young people?
That's certainly something that we have to think about, because those students are in our classes, and they're, for the most part, mainstreamed. There's a relatively short sort of incubation or sheltered period for those students coming in, and depending on their language skills, they get pushed into the mainstream classes pretty quickly. So all of us have quite a few students who are learning English. I mean, as a second or third or fourth language, and we've got to kind of try to meet them where they are. So changes in how we do things, we can modify tests or accommodate their language needs, try to provide more visuals, more whatever supports we can. And we have great EL teachers, English language learner teachers, that support us and help us with that. So we're really lucky in Albert Lea, and I'm guessing most districts around have great professionals doing that kind of thing.
You lead the English department. Tell us, how many folks do you have there in your area? About,
yeah, I don't have a count offhand. I think there are 9 of us, I think, in Albert Lea High School.
and that's strictly English, not other foreign languages?
Correct. That's
they're
strictly
separate?
English. Yep. The foreign language has their own sort of focus and their own group. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And what about personal interest? Do you have any time during the school year to enjoy life outside the classroom?
Yeah, I do have some time. I enjoy woodworking and playing guitar and reading and some things like that. And some of those things you can sneak in short little bits too, as you have time. During the school year, I do a lot less reading during the school year just for fun than I might other times, because my job's kind of reading intensive. So by the end of the day, I'm kind of done reading.
Any of your students give you kind of a hard time or congratulate you when they learned of this honor?
That was one of the most fun things about getting the award was the next day, going back to school, and I was walking up to the school building, and a student who I've got a good rapport with, but we've had our conflicts in the past, and he's a great kid, but has had a rough life, and he greeted me at the door. He just happened to be at the door when I was walking up. He congratulated me, and he held the door open for me, and it was just really sweet and warm. It was nice.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations again. It's just wonderful, and thank you for your service to the school district. I can't think of many more important duties than this, educating the young people, so thanks so much.
Well, that's very kind. You're welcome.
Todd Lange, the Albert Lea Teacher of the Year.